year ago, I thought I knew exactly where my life was heading. I had plans, goals, projects that I was convinced will shape my future. But life has a funny way of changing direction when you least expect it. Over the last year, a lot has changed. Some things ended, some things never became what I hoped they would be, and some dreams turned out to be different from what I imagined. Lately, I found myself questioning a lot of things. The path I was on, the choices I was making, and whether holding on was really the right thing to do. Sometimes we become so focused on building a future that we forget to enjoy the present. We spend so much time chasing the next goal, the next opportunity, the next version of ourselves, that we slowly lose touch with who we are. And maybe that's why I needed this trip. Not because I had a destination in mind, not because I wanted an adventure, but because I needed space. Space away from my expectations, away from deadlines, away from the noise. For the first time in a long time, I wanted to be completely alone. Just me, my motorcycle, and the road ahead. The plan was simple. Pack a tent, cross the border, find a quiet place in Croatia and spend a few days living a little slower. But even simple plans come with doubts. The weather forecast looked terrible. Rain was moving across the region. The luggage setup had never been tested before. I had no real backup plan, and honestly, I wasn't even sure what I was hoping to find. Maybe freedom, maybe clarity, maybe nothing at all. But sometimes you don't live because you know where you're going. Sometimes you live because staying in the same place for too long starts to feel worse than the uncertainty ahead. So despite the rain, despite the doubts, despite everything happening in my life at the moment, I packed the bike, start the engine, and head towards Croatia. Hoping that somewhere between the miles, the mountains, and the silence, I'd find exactly what I needed.
Okay guys, welcome back to the first travel video of the channel. First camping trip together. I'm already in Slovenia, just crossed the border from Italy. It was just half an hour ride for me to get here, but it wasn't nothing interesting, so I just came here and started the vlog here. Oh, what a great feeling to be on the road again, even though it's not the perfect day to start a trip. This morning it was raining really hard, and yeah, but hopefully we're going that direction, so hopefully we can just avoid some of the rain. Well, nothing to complain. I didn't get too wet, just a few drops of water right outside of my house, but there is some serious wind, so hopefully you can hear me.
The plan for today is pretty simple. Cross the border, ride down into Croatia, find my campsite, set up tent, and finally settle in for the next couple of days. Nothing too ambitious, no tight schedule, no specific place I need to be. Just a few hours on the road and hopefully a quiet evening surrounded by nature. The ride itself should take around 4 hours, maybe a little more depending on traffic, weather and how many times I decide to stop along the way. And knowing me, there will definitely be a few stops. At least one for fuel, probably 2 or 3 for coffee. Maybe another one just because a road looks interesting enough to pull over and enjoy the view for a few minutes. That's one of the things I love most about traveling by motorcycle. The destination matters, but it's never really the point. It's everything that happens in between. The roads you didn't plan to take, the places you didn't expect to find. The small moments that don't seem important at the time but somehow become the memories you remember the most. So for now the goal is simple, keep heading south, enjoy the ride, and hopefully arrive at camp before the weather decides to make things more interesting. But after a couple of hours on the road, there's one thing I'm starting to notice. The bike feels very different from usual. With all the camping gear, luggage and extra weight, it's definitely not riding the way I'm used to.
But you can really feel the weight of the bike. Like it's not heavy, but you can feel like that there's something on your back. Almost like you're riding with a backpack, with a girl in the back, with my girl in the back. So yeah, I need to take it easy for today until I get on camp and I can get rid of all the luggages. This wind is killing me. I need to be really careful. I don't know if you can understand by the video, but it's really tough. Oh no, this is not good, guys. But look at that view.
The further south I ride, the more the weather begins to remind me that every trip has its own challenges. The rain hasn't been too bad so far, but the wind is a different story. Every gust catches the bike off guard. One moment everything feels perfectly stable, and the next I'm fighting to stay in my lane. With all the camping gear strapped to the back, every moment feels amplified. The bike is heavier, less predictable. Every overtake, every exposed section of road, every bridge demands a little more attention. It's one of those situations where you stop thinking about the destination, you stop thinking about the scenery, your entire focus narrows down to one thing: the next corner, the next gust of wind, the next few meters of road. Hours like this can be surprisingly exhausting. Not physically, but mentally, because you can't afford to switch off for even a second. And that's something motorcycle travel teaches you very quickly. Nature doesn't care about your plans, doesn't care how far you still have to go. The only thing you can do is adapt, stay patient, and keep moving forward. As I keep riding, I can't help but think back to my last big motorcycle trip.
I don't understand why. Every time I go on a trip like this, it's always raining. Always. Last year I went for a 10-day trip, and like, I don't know, maybe six of them were under pouring rain. all day long with raining gear on. I just stopped to fill the tank and I had a quick coffee and I had a chat with the guys from the campsite where I'm going, and they say it should be sunny all day long there, so hopefully we'll get better along the road. Also, look at this view, how beautiful it is. I think Slovenia is really underrated. There are some very beautiful spots in here, and we will see some of them on this trip, but yeah, I'm planning to visit everything I can in Slovenia.
After hours of riding, something finally begins to change. The sky slowly starts to open. The dark clouds begin to break apart, and for the first time today I can actually see patches of blue. I feel like the weather is finally on my side. The wind eases off, the bike feels more planted. Even the luggage, which had been on my mind since I left home, has settled into place. Everything feels secure, exactly as I'd hoped. For the first time since this morning, I stopped thinking about everything that could go wrong, and simply enjoyed the ride. The road winds through endless forests, corner after corner, almost no traffic, just me, the bike and the sound of the engine echoing through the trees. Moments like this are the reason I travel by motorcycle. Nothing to rush, nothing to prove, just being completely present. For a while it feels like everything is finally falling into place, like the hardest part of the journey is behind me, but road trips have a funny way of reminding you not to get too comfortable. Because just as I begin to relax, the asphalt suddenly disappears.
Okay guys, I think we have a problem. Let me turn around 1 second. What the fuck? Should I just try to go and hope not to die? Or should I just turn around? Oh. So this is the situation I'm in. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I don't know. Doesn't look good. Maybe it's just this bit because I don't know. Well, fuck it, we will try.
I kept going for a while, hoping the gravel is only temporary. A few hundred meters pass, then a few hundred meters more, but the road never changes. If anything, it becomes rougher with every kilometer. The slow surface demands my full attention, and every bump reminds me that this bike was built for the asphalt, not roads like this. At that point, there's really only one sensible choice. I stop, take a look around, and decide to turn back. Getting to the campsite isn't worth forcing my luck. Before leaving though, I couldn't resist taking a few minutes to enjoy the view. From the ground, it already felt remote. From above, it was even more impressive. wasn't where I supposed to end up, but it became one of those unexpected places that make a journey feel unique. After a few drone shots, it was time to head back and find the right road. After turning around, the rest of the ride felt a little lighter. A few kilometers later, I stopped near a small school. A group of kids gathered around the bike, smiling from ear to ear. There was only one thing they wanted: rabbit. How could I say no? Moments like that don't last long, but somehow they stay with you. A few minutes later, I crossed the border into Croatia. A quiet bridge stretched over the Kolpa river, surrounded by forests and almost nothing else. No traffic, no crowds. Just another reminder that I was getting further away from everything I'd left behind. Not long after crossing the border, Google Maps decided he had done enough for the day. The campsite wasn't where the pin said it would be. From that point, it was just me, a few road signs, and a rough idea of where I needed to go. Thankfully, they were enough. Little by little, I started recognizing the directions, and for the first time all day, I finally felt I was close. The kilometers kept rolling by, the excitement grew, but so did the fatigue. After hours of riding through wind, rain and constant concentration, every kilometer demanded a little more energy than the last. And then, I saw it, the entrance to the campsite. There was just one problem. The only way in was a steep gravel road, disappearing into the forest. Loose stones, a narrow descent, exactly the kind of road I'd been hoping to avoid all day. Turning around wasn't an option anymore. The campsite was down there. So I took a deep breath, reminded myself of the little off-road experience I had from riding motocross years ago, and started making my way down. Slowly, using the rear brake as much as possible, choosing every line carefully, one section at a time. There were a couple of moments that definitely got my heart racing, especially one tight hairpin covered in loose gravel. But somehow, everything came together. A few minutes later, I rolled into the campsite without dropping the bike. After a quick chat with the owners, I learned something I never expected. I was the only guest. For the next 2 nights, I will have the entire campsite to myself. Even the owners will head home in the evening. After an entire day on the road, after every doubt, every gust of wind, every wrong turn and every challenge, I had finally made it. Now there was only one thing left to do. As soon as the tent is standing, everything changes. The road is behind me, the engine is silent. The only sounds left are the birds in the trees and the river flowing a few meters away. It's been almost a year since the last time I slept in a tent. I didn't realize how much I'd missed this. There's something about arriving somewhere with nothing more than you can carry on your motorcycle. No distraction, no rush, no expectation. Just a small piece of nature that, for a little while, feels like home. Out here, time seems to move differently. The thoughts that followed me for weeks slowly begin to lose their weight. Not because they've disappeared, but because they no longer feel so loud. Maybe that's why I keep coming back to places like this. Not to escape my life, but to reconnect with it. Standing beside the river, surrounded by complete silence, I finally feel like I've arrived. Not just at the campsite, but mentally. The journey finally starts to take shape. I boil some water, make myself a coffee, and sit down facing the river. No phone, no clock, nothing asking for my attention. Just the sound of flowing water and a quiet mind.